So I'm just gonna come up to the bow of the boat. I've got my ladder. Just gonna give this. We're just gonna try and give it a little test in. I mean, it's a bit shallow, but let's just see how this sort of sinks down. Oh yeah, so that's actually let's see if we're hanging, look. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant, you know. So, you know, that is really good news. Now, because I've got rods in there now, and by the way, I hope they should, you know, with the fabric, they should hold my weight. But because we've got them like that, we can now put these on. We can put these clasps together, because it's not gonna, when I did that before, it closed up the ladder. So it was really hard to find where your foot was to go in. So there's it on the side. Let's try it on the back now. So on the back, obviously these lines aren't gonna reach the cleats, but it does now give us an option that we only need one cleat. So we could actually have it off the side of one of these cleats here, or even, you know, on that big cleat. We could also hang it off the back like we said before, but we only now need one line maybe to go around the cleat, or even the eyes of the motor board, these things there, and drop it down there. I don't know, but I'm really hopeful about this ladder now. Instead of, like, it was a little bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie. I also like the way it stores now, because look, it just sorts itself out. You know, you just grab the two ends, look, and now the rod sorts itself out. So I'm going to stow that on the boat, and we need to make that ready. The other thing I need to sort out is this, because at the moment, you know, this could move back and forth. Now, if we had just one of these little, see these little, I call them fairlies, but I think they're called lacing eyes. I've had one of those sort of just here somewhere, or really close to where the anchor will be, because then we're not going to tread on the lacing eye. Or we could even have it in the wood here. That might do it. No, I think somewhere in the leather here. Then I think that's a good solution for now. I don't think you see that. We're going to put it right there, and we're going to see how that works. So let's just do that. There we go. And then you can either leave that like that, or we can then put the pin back in. Do you know what? This pin might not even need this on. You see? There we go. Pointing question there. It's very easy to lose this little screw head, especially. But I want to get this sorted because I want to start using it, this anchor, because I've never really used it. It's the correct one for the boat, and I want to, you know, get it attached and start using it in the lake, so I know where I am with it. This is a spare bit of leather I got from the Drascombe set that's supposed to go on the foot of the mizzen mast. I'm never going to use it, so I thought it would be perfect for this job. Just to put this little patch of leather on the deck here, just to protect the deck from this anchor. And that will go just there, like that. We can even use that. That will stick and sort of dry and cure very, very quickly, and then it will actually also cure over time to a really good, you know, I did these blocks with it. It's amazing stuff, really. I got these new spanners, little clicky spanners, which are brilliant. Oh, I don't know why I didn't buy a set of these earlier in my life, to be honest with you. There we go. So we need, just got to be careful of that. that holds the tiller up at a much better angle now. I've got this new kettle. The other kettle was just a bit big for me when I'm on my own, so I bought this tiny little kettle off Amazon. Doesn't have a whistle though, but you can lift the little lid off, and it does just enough water for a couple of mugs of coffee actually, which is all me and my family ever really need, to be frank. So there we go. Warm the just put a little drop in there to warm the cup. That's for my coffee. Just makes a difference to the whole day. It really does for me. Cheers. So I've got the cushions down here, and I just need to secure them to the boat. So the obvious choice is to use these little elasticated toggles. Now the idea is I want them to stretch a little bit, because if I can get them to stretch a little bit, they'll hold the cushion in place. But will they stretch enough? Let's have a little look. And indeed, I'm just going to toggle them to the existing lacing hooks, I think they're called, that I use for the rain cover. Okay, and I think if you interestingly, I think it's the bobbles that are sort of coming off. Let's just do that, see if that'll help. I mean, it stops it, doesn't it? It stops it from being lost. We'll give those a go and we'll see if that works. I think it's okay that it does that. Otherwise, we'll have to think of another idea. Just fixing the little pulleys for on the Dyneema shackles, soft shackles. So when we're flying the spinnaker sheet will come all the way back here to this pulley and then forward to this cleat here. I might just show you these. These are tie-its, but they're tie-its that they're actually quite strong, you know, but they have a little release, so you can reuse them. So a few of those on the boat won't go amiss. Got them from Aldi, which is a well-known European supermarket, and they always have this, they think they're called special buys. I always have a little look in the DIY section of the special buys for things like this, but these are really useful. 50 pieces, they're about £3, something like that. And yeah, thought I'd mention those. Right, while we're up front, I've got a couple of problems, haven't I? Pretty much everyone has been telling me to tie the sail to the mast, the lower portion of it, and I don't know whether it was that, but last week when we were sailing in, high, good wind, but not like horrendous wind, I seemed to have a lot of oomph. I wonder if that did make that much of a difference. So I devised something that hooked onto this little eyelet here and then sort of went around the mast and tightened up as the mast went up. I didn't like that because it was messy. When I was getting the sail down, it was a lot of faff. I now do have this whatever that's called, but spinnaker eye or bracket on the mast. So I don't want things to get caught on that. So I was having a chat with fellow lugger owner this week, and he said, did you buy the parall beads? He said, I noticed you've got the new parall beads. He said, did you buy this from Drascombe? I said, yes. Did you get a set of 4? I was like, yeah. And he said, well, you do know that some of those that are spare at the moment are for that reason. And what you're supposed to do... Ooh, there's a little breeze kicking up. Hello. Anyway, what you're supposed to do is use these, and you just untoggle them from the sail as you pull the sail up or pull the sail down. So I'm going to give that a go. And what I've done, look, I've bought these beads. I can't remember if I mentioned these before. So I've actually got some of these beads so I can make my own. They're not quite as big as these. They're called barrel beads. And I got some wood ones as well, which they're a bit better size. But the other thing I did get was another bit of advice that I've been given is to use these little, so I think they're called duffel coat toggles. You know, like Paddington Bear would wear. Let me make sure it's windy now. I don't want to use that rubbish. So let's try and open these, and then have a look at one of them. I haven't even opened them yet. So, to make life a little bit easier, I've actually found, and even on the gaff, I'm just trying to find somewhere to sit, even on the gaff, I find putting one of these beads through that hole a little bit difficult. But what we can do is put this line through, and it should fit. Oh, it's a perfect fit, really. Tie that off. Let me just show you. If I do very quickly, tie that off with just a figure 8 knot will do. There we go. We make sure we tie that off really well, so that won't slip. And then what we do is we should be able to. This needs to be attached to the sail, probably through the sail, and then we put this through like that. And then it should grip, but also be quite easy to get out. Much easier than a bead. The other thing I've been told about this system is that actually you only need to sort of put these into 2 of the eyelets. Excuse me. So I'm going to raise the sail now, and then we're going to have a little look at this. Right, we're just going to do this on the bottom one. So we need to have this attached to the sail. So it would always be attached to the sail like that. And then this would then come round. So let's get that toggle on there. And it doesn't have to be tight, like super duper tight, you know. So let's just do this. Oh, that's the residual line that I've got. So you would then just toggle that in like that. And then your sail is tethered to here. That's probably adequate. And then I think this is the one we probably can't now do. But if we get this middle one, and let's see what happens if we just get this one in and this one in, it might make enough of a difference. So what I didn't realise was, well, I kind of did realise this. In my set of parall beads from Jurassic, I got 4 sets. And one set had 3 beads. And I've just realised when I was trying to fit this 3 bead one on the sail, it wouldn't reach, the rope wouldn't reach round the mast. So what I've done, I've swapped that. That is for the gaff. Likewise, I found that having the 4 beads here leaves too much of a gap here sometimes. So now I've got the 3 beads there in the right place. Now I've got a 4 bead one up here that I use to just hold the gaff to the mast, which is useful. Now I couldn't really put 2 in. If I've got the reef in, which you can see the reefing chocks are right up there, maybe I would need another one up there. I don't know, in between here, but that still leaves me with an extra one, which does make me wonder that I do need another one of these for the sail. Oh yes, you're not going to get that bit tighter, are you really there? So I think we'll go with 2. If we need to make another one, I can make another one, and we'll see how that does us. Let me know. Those of you that have been telling me about this, tell me if I need to do one on the other well, I'm not going to do one on this eyelet because I won't be able to reef, but let me know if I need to do one on that top eyelet as well. Yeah, might just make one anyway. And probably getting the sail up and down will dictate, you know, whether I do it this way or not. Just on that note, let's see if we can get the sail. Let's just see what happens if we now just bring the sail or the gaff down. The sail is the gaff, really, isn't it, on a gaff rig boat? Let's just see, because obviously it gets stuck there. But let's just see what happens now if we. Oh, there we go. I just want to see what happens if we leave these in place. Well, oh, it's actually the sail just got caught there. So, do you know what? We can get the sail down. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so if I was sort of cruising, the only trouble is we get the sail caught there. If I was just cruising and I just wanted to get the sail down, this is kind of how I would do it. And then I'd just get a strap around the gaff, which has gone the wrong way round, like this. And that's how I'd secure the boat. It does work, but it wouldn't be too difficult to get those undone before we brought the sail down, I guess. Because it does mean you are putting a bit of stress on the sail here. If you look here, here and here. These are so easy now to get undone, look. He says, this eye is a little bit small. There you go. But now, we can bring this gaff in, straight where we need it. Oh, it's a tractor. And then, you know, I would secure that with, you know, secure the sail like this. And this sail just finds a home down here. Like that. And then the sail I know is really secure, like this. It won't flap. So I think we've got ourselves a solution there. I think this rope has seen better days. And I think it's just stretching, isn't it? Too much. So I can't get it, you know, you can see here, I can't get it any tighter. But look, I literally, there's a little bit there. Look. But look, there's so much slack in that rope. I just got this spare. And I bought it when I bought this, and it's the same. I'm pretty sure this is going to do the job. So what I'm going to do is swap out the jib halyard for this, which doesn't have as much stretch, and we're going to see if that will help things a little bit. So my tack line here that holds the tack of the sail, I can actually, it can be used as a makeshift holder for the mast. Now the mast won't fall down. We're going to just lower the forestay, and all we need to do is lower it so we can find the top of the jib without. Now what we don't want to do is, so what we don't want to do is lose the bottom of the jib here, but what we are going to do is this. So we're going to take this off here. So we're then going to get the end of this new line, put that on. So that actually went, I did a round turn and 2.5 hitches. I know you're probably supposed to use a different knot for that probably, but there we go, that should help. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is find the other end of this. So I'm going to just flake this line out. It's just getting stuck on there. Right, here goes another thing. I'm going to do it lengthways like this, because I think that'll give it the best chance of sticking, because I need to keep this as thin as I can, but I need to keep the sort of purchasing power of this tape, so as much purchasing power as I can muster from the tape. So we've got a nice long, see that nice long section where that should pull through. in theory. Let's give it a go. This is going to be a big win of the day, this will. Just going to do it nice and gentle. Oh, I think it's worked. Yes, yes. And now the hard bit is actually getting it unstuck. So I'll go and do that. Here we go. Let's now hoist this back up. I think we need to do this. Just make sure we don't get lines tangled. We might have to cut this line because it is quite long. Yeah, it's a bit too long. But we'll worry about that in a minute. Let's get the jib back up. And then in this boat, the forestay kind of is the jib halyard. Just checking we're not tangled up. There, that's it. We are able to get this way tighter. So I think it was overdue upgrading this anyway. Yeah, have a little look. It's definitely tighter. Things never break when you're sat here peacefully on the lake. They will always break when you're in a force 5 on the sea with waves building. So yeah, that's why we're replacing this now, because it's actually arguably that is actually the most important line on the boat. It holds the mast up, you know. Without that, we're in big trouble. So yeah, that's a good job done. Just swap the camera to the other side of the boat because it seems to be quite dark. It is a dark day today. I've got this big dog. I use this a lot for this sort of thing. There we go. Just to melt the ends of these. Let's go down here. There you go, and it just makes these lines good. Now let's have a look. I've got roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, roughly 9 meters of line there. That will make a really good sort of utility line. It could be anything from a makeshift mooring line to a halyard or something. Always good to have a bit of extra rope on the boat, so to speak.